journey started in year 2016, and it had been a wonderful, amazing, I would say, a complete transformation since I entered into meditation. So, my name is Ekta Jan. I was born into a Jain family, and being a Jain, we had been following, like very strict religious rituals, and I used to perform the fasting and all also Jain's fasting, which is quite hard to do. But with all of that, the hunger within me, the thirst of knowing more, um, it always existed there. Um, I was searching, I was looking for something that can provide the answers to my questions that I had been carrying since my childhood. So when I met Pranhita in year 2016, she mentioned about the meditation. So I was quite inclined to know like what is it and how it has happened. So when I started doing meditation following year, I met Patri sir, and the experience meeting with Patri sir was like uh, out of the word, I would say. I didn't expect what I received in just the first meeting. So it's not just about sharing my spiritual experiences that I had during my journey, but it's about, um, you know, I I want to speak about the four principles on which our PSSM is based, and just to emphasize the importance that how important they are in anyone's spiritual journey, and if we follow them seriously, sincerely, how we can transform our lives. Like my life has been transformed. So, um, giving some examples or what changes, what transformation I experienced into my life, I would like to speak on these four principles so that all the seekers who are sincerely looking for, to have the evolution and spiritual growth into their life. So if you follow these four principles, you can definitely, reach your goal. So the four principles are meditation. First is meditation. Second is Swadhyaya, reading right spiritual books. Third is Sajjan Sangatya, which is sharing experiences and listening to other people's experiences. And the fourth, last but not the least, is very important, which is non-violence in terms of what we are consuming in our body and what we are thinking in our mind. So I'll touch upon each and every point and also emphasize how these principles have transformed my life. Um, so, to start with, the first and the most important point is meditation. So, as I mentioned, when I started my journey in 2016 and met Patri sir in year 2017, um, I had a wonderful experience. His energy was obviously like a volcano, explosive. If you are sitting there and if you are a little bit receptive, you can easily feel the powerhouse that he is holding inside uh, himself. So when I met him, it was organized in a hall in a university. There was a hall booked, and there was a gathering of a few people. And I was the first time meeting him, and the experience was amazing. As soon as we started doing meditation, um, he was guiding, playing flute, and I was sitting in the center and people were sitting towards my left and the right side. But when I was doing meditation, I felt that no one is sitting around me. The whole room was filled with white light. Everything dissolved into that white light, and I was just sitting right in the center. Even I could not feel anyone, including Patricia. Everything just dissolved. And I was like, what's happening? I started, like, what's what's happened, like I was just meditating with so many people around me, and suddenly I could feel no one around me except me, just sitting in the center and surrounded with the white light all around me. So that was first experience, meeting with Patri sir and doing meditation with him, experiencing his wonderful energy. And from then on I started doing meditation myself. And you know what, as we keep on doing meditation, what happens is what shift I felt inside me was that I started witnessing my own emotions with so much depth and clarity. that sometimes I would feel that, like, we always hear or read these things, that we are not body, we are not mind, but then reading that those words is not enough until you experience them, and then you start actually relating that what is mentioned in the scriptures or by I'm not body, I'm not mind is this, that I started feeling a little gap between myself and my emotions. So I could feel that this is not me. My emotions, my thoughts are different than me because I'm witnessing them. I was able to, just because that little gap started to get created, and then I was, like, if two things are so close, are you able to see that? If I put my hand just so close to my eyes, would I be able to see that? Only if there is some gap, I would be able to see my hand properly. Similarly, with any other object, there has to be a little gap. But until we are not a meditator, we are, surrounded by so many emotions, so many thoughts. Kind of a chaos is around us, and there is no gap. You cannot feel that they are different from me. So when I started doing those the meditation, gap started to create, like I just mentioned. So it's like I'm witnessing, I'm not these emotions. Because that gap was there, I was able to witness my own anger, my own emotions. So when you are able to see that you are in the pool of emotions, or whatever chaos that's happening due to your emotions or your thoughts, would you not be able to resolve it? Everything gets resolved. Whatever conflict is going on in our life, everything gets resolved just by the understanding. So when you start understanding, because you are able to witness it, there is a gap, you are able to see yourself more clearly, with more deeply. So then, obviously, when you have the understanding, you will be able to resolve yourself in a much, clean manner. So it's kind of a, cleaning process, cleansing that happens naturally when you start meditation. The gap increases, you become a witness, you see yourself. And the other important thing is, like, like I mentioned, that there was a little gap. So you see the witness within yourself. You see that this is not me. I'm just surrounded by so many other things which are not mine. So, what happens is your journey towards self intensifies. You want to explore what is me more, more intensely. So, one thing is clear, that my body, my mind, my emotions are different than me. Then, what is me? Who am I? That questions, that thing, that quest intensifies when you are able to distinguish every other thing which is not you apart from yourself. So then what happens is your journey becomes, one pointed, that okay, it's about exploring myself, my what is me. So these are just the junk that I have been collecting. Okay, I can shed them, or with introspection, acknowledgement. And this is not that it's just one time. The journey is on. So it's like every day you are in a social platform, you are socializing with so many people in your social life, personal life, professional life. So you gather, each day you're gathering these things, like our house. Once we clean it, it's not that i- it's done forever. So you need to have it in a always in a routine, one daily, weekly, whatever. So that way, again, this is not like I have done it, so it's all done for all forever. No. So the journey is, keeps on happening, and you keep on acknowledging, you keep on introspecting. And then, by meditation, you keep on, looking into yourself, explore yourself, introspect, acknowledge your own patterns. And that way, slowly and gradually, you start, instead of reacting to these situations, you start responding to these situations. And that's a major shift when it happens, because, it not only a transformation within your own behavior, but it's also, shows around you. There is a lot of harmony created everywhere in your relationships, and you get the wisdom of, how to deal with difficult situations, challenges in your life. For even the I have two kids, so parenting is also a big challenge. So when you have that wisdom within you, you know, like if you're in a normal situation, if your child is crying, what is the normal reaction? Why is he crying? I'm tired, I can't take care of. And you know, these kind of things happen in your mind. But when you're a meditator, you don't look it from the point that why this is happening. You try to see what's behind. You know, it's like when we are reading a book, we say that we should read between the lines. So it's kind of judging this situation, reading between what's going on between your mind, between the other person's mind, and between the situations, what's going on, looking at the background. So if the child is crying, what's the reason of he? Is he tired? Is he bored or whatever going on? Or he just wants to play? So you know, you get that kind of wisdom. If you try to look at this at one situation from other person's perspective, you get the understanding of that situation. And once you understand the situation, you are able to respond according to the situation, not according to your own emotions. So that is a big shift, big transformation when you try to understand the situation in a bigger picture, not just from your views, from your emotions, your thoughts. So that's where meditation has played a very, very important role into my life. Sorting myself, sorting my situation, sorting my children in each and every area of my life. It has helped a lot. So I would say that meditation is very, very important. One should, like when you start experiencing these little things into your life, you become so firm on this path that you would start prioritizing meditation above everything. So, not even a single day goes without meditation. I can leave my food, but I cannot leave meditation for sure. So, even if I'm tired before, after, days, chores, and everything is done, in the night, if I'm so tired, still I make sure that I meditate, even if it's for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever my body allows, I just try to meditate morning, evening, both times. At least morning are compulsory for at least for new beginners. If you can't do for two times, one time at least is important. If you can take out 1 hour for yourself, that's wonderful, amazing. That 1 hour that you are giving to yourself is going to bring so many changes into your life. It will make you beautiful, not from outside but from inside. It will make everything around you so beautiful. um, People around you will feel happy. Not just you will of course feel happy from inside, but people around you also will start feeling so happy. So meditation um, is not a luxury thing or something. It's a necessity, I would say, in everyone's life. So we should definitely prioritize this in our life. Then moving on to the second point, which is like a swadhyay, reading right spiritual books. So Patricia also mentioned that reading books is really important if you want to um, make progress on your spiritual journey. So but what kind of books we should read? We should always read the source. The source should be authentic, and we should always read the right content. But on you might have also heard this, that by reading books nobody can reach God, which is true in one sense, that if you just keep on reading books and don't do meditation along with it, don't follow the other three principles, of course the goal will feel like unreachable. You won't feel any difference instead of just gathering the theoretical knowledge. So implementing that theoretical knowledge into your life is very important. Having those experiences into your life, when you experience those things, that knowledge that's written in the book, that's where it contains important importance, and it inspires you. You feel more motivated because you have experienced that thing into your own life, so you feel motivated to read more books, to do more meditation. So experiencing what's written in the book is more important, and that experience happens through meditation only. So like I mentioned, like reading books, how it happened, how helped me in my spiritual growth is that, um, for example, if we have a 1 kg of vessel, how reading books help us in our spiritual growth. Let's try to understand it from this example, that if we have a 1 kg of a vessel and we try to put 2 kgs kilograms of something into that, obviously it won't fit in into it. Okay, so then what do we need to do? We need to increase the size of the vessel. Hmm? So what is the way of increasing the size of the vessel? The reading books that really contributes. How it expands our consciousness. So increasing the size of the vessel is basically means increasing the size of our consciousness, expanding it. When our consciousness expands, only then we can gain more knowledge. We can receive that knowledge. We are able. We It gives us the eligibility, capability to receive more knowledge. So when we read books, what happens is, we like I would give the example of, I read that book, Dana Mariam's Untold Story of Sita. Until I read that book, uh, we worship these gods, Lord Ram, Mata Sita, and all, but there was not that deep connection. When I read that book, I was deeply connected to their energies. I could feel those energies. So, this is how reading the books contribute to your spiritual growth. That it makes your connection so deeper. Any author that you're reading, for example, if I'm reading the books of Osho, I get connected to his energies. So that is how, when you connect to different masters, they help you in your spiritual growth. You are able to receive the knowledge from them, yet your connection deepens. So that is how you are able to experience you feel their energies into your life. So like I mentioned, when I got connected to energies of Mata Sita, i would I was feeling that unconditional love within my heart that Lord Ram and Mata Sita shared, and the unconditional love that they spread into this world, the purpose of their incarnation on the earth. So uh, these things, these terms, you understand more deeply when you're reading the books. Otherwise, if you are doing meditation only, yes, it helps. But this kind of knowledge is, it's not actually possible to have. There are infinite experiences in spiritual journey. So um, if you are in this lifetime, how can you have those infinite experiences? How can you experience them? If you just think of that, I can do everything in my, so reading books helps. And the third point is that sharing your experiences with others. So how it helps in your spiritual journey. So when you're sharing your experiences, like I'm giving this talk today, so I'm inspiring others. They listen to my experiences, and then something gets triggered into your consciousness that, okay, uh, can this happen to me also? Can I also progress into my spiritual journey? What is it? Or if it's for a very beginner, they would become curious, like, what is it? It will bring a kind of, they'll become inquisitive, like, what is going to happen if I start my meditation journey? Would I be able to experience this? And similarly, when we listen to other people experiences, listening is also very important. It's not that um, uh, like Patricia, he was an enlightened person, but still he would listen to each and every person's experience so attentively, so alert. He doesn't have to listen, but still he would listen, because it gives the opportunity to the other person to listen and then expand themselves, expand their consciousness. Like I mentioned, this universe is vast, infinite. So within this life, how can I experience those infinite experiences? It's not possible. I might have to take infinite times birth to experience those infinite experiences. So it gives us one opportunity, wonderful opportunity, if we listen to other people's experiences, to at least connect to those experiences. Then you want to explore more, like Can this happen to me, or is it going to be a fresh new experience for me? So this way, again, this is kind of a mutual help in the evolution of people who are on the spiritual path. So when we are sharing our experiences with like-minded people and listening to the people, other people's experience, both ways, it helps us in our journey. It helps us in evolution of our soul's journey. So that's why when I started, connecting to people, listening to, like, when I started Pranahita, I started my journey with Pranahita. So when I used to listen to her experiences, that curiosity started to trigger in within me that, okay, this is so wonderful. Can this happen to me as well? So I wanted to explore more. So and in today's world, if meeting in person is not possible, then social media is the another great platform where we can connect like we are doing right now. So using social media wisely is another thing. So try to, even if you are, swiping your phone, try to look for the content which is spiritual, so that that also contributes to your Sajjan Sangatya. You are immersing, you are, immersed into, in your daily life, you are always immersed with your with spiritual things. If not people around you, at least with spiritual content on social media. So these 3 points are really important. And then moving on to the last point, which is non-violence. Non-violence includes not just the food that we consume. Obviously, that the being a vegetarian is very, very important when we are on the spiritual path, the food that we consume, but also what we are thinking about other person. That's on a subtler plane, but it still contributes to our how violent we are in our thinking pattern towards others. So about the vegetarianism, like Patricia was always very much, he emphasized on being a vegetarian more than a meditator. He had so much compassion about for all the animals that uh, he said, you have to be vegetarian within this life. I don't care. You can be a meditator in the next life, but you have to be a vegetarian. Cruelty free life is so, so important. And actually, it matters if you are trying to, progress on your spiritual journey, in your soul evolution journey. Then, if you are, doing cruelty to other um, beings in the universe of other kingdoms, animal kingdom, plant kingdom, mineral kingdom, then obviously you're creating the blocks for yourself in your spiritual journey, in your evolution. Um, it's kind of, you're trying to raise your energies from your animalistic, characteristics. You are trying to become a human. So when you are a non-vegetarian and you leave that kind of food and you turn a vegetarian, so basically you are raising your energies from animalistic instincts to humanly instincts. So the potential, highest potential of being a human is to reach your divinehood. You want to be, you want to, um, what is the highest potential of our as a human being? Turn into a divine being. That's, what's our major goal, our highest goal of being a human. So when you are consuming anything which is full of cruelty, you are basically lowering your energy to last three chakras. You cannot raise your energies, your consciousness above those animalistic instincts. So when you have turned into a vegetarian, again, it's important that what being a vegetarian is not, had solved everything. Then you have to develop those divine qualities within you, so that you can raise from your human instincts, you rise towards your divine instincts. So how you can develop those things is, um, maybe, like if you are a vegetarian, if you are eating the tamasic kind of food, leaving garlics, and then fasting is another important, not just having food every time. Eating mindfully, how much your body needs it, eat that. fasting plays a very important intermittent fasting. So that way you develop a kind of a will within you that and you know that how much food is required for your body. And then maybe the next stage I would say, like, you can leave that need of your food also, and then you start living on probably the sun energy, or that's like going into advanced I would say versions of your human nature. So that's how you develop those divine qualities within you. And then once you are towards that stage where you are able to survive, food is not your basic requirement. There are other things which you can on which you can survive. You start entering into the divine kingdom, like Jesus has mentioned that um, uh, you have to become like a child. Have you seen child are they so much um, dependent on food? If you try to feed them everything, they will become, they'll have aversion towards food. I don't want. Some kids are too fussy that we don't want to have so much food and towards food. But that's the reason that if the parents are too much feeding them every hour or so, they develop kind of an aversion towards the food that we don't want to eat. So, food, in our mind, food is like we have to consume 3 times a day. It's not important to have 3 times. Eat according to your body requirements. So that's how, when you start, applying these principles mindfully, you start to develop your own divine qualities within you. And then that's the doorway to enter into the kingdom of God. And what else? Vegetarianism, then compassion. Yes, that includes the compassion also towards all the animals, towards other kingdoms of life. So and then uh, yeah, so that in a nutshell, I think I have covered everything. So um, I'm a vegetarian since birth, but then again, as I mentioned, just being a vegetarian does not also serve the purpose. So you need to be mindful about each and everything. And then obviously what you are thinking in your mind is also very important. Be mindful of what you are thinking. Your thoughts should be always positive, miraculous thoughts. We shouldn't be thinking disastrous. We shouldn't have disastrous thinking. So this is all in a nutshell I have covered. And by sincerely following these 4 principles in my life have brought a lot of transformation within myself. So if anyone who is seeking this path and want to evolve faster, quicker on this journey, these are major pillars that we need to hold on to, and we need to follow these principles very religiously and sincerely into our life. So I have so many profound experiences into my spiritual journey. I have, I have heard, I have listened to the astral sounds, and I had visions in my meditation. But those things, I would say I won't, put a lot of importance of it kind of fulfills your soul desire. We have 4 kinds of desire: mind, body, and then our intellectual desires and soul desires. So body desires are like 5 senses gratification. Then mind desire is what you like, you want to do more, and what you don't like, you don't want to do. And then intellect is materialistically, if you are into some kind of a job or any kind of business, you want to progress more on it. So that's kind of intellectual desires you are fulfilling there. And soul desires are always related to your soul, what you want to do. So if you are a spiritual seeker, obviously your soul desire would be to have more kind of astral experiences. And so when you do the meditation and follow these principles, you will be able to fulfill your soul desires. That has what happened with me in my life. I have experienced it personally, and I would say that um, following these principles really, really would be, able to expedite one's journey, soul's journey into the spiritual realms. So I would just end my talk here on this, and I hope that you take the inspiration and follow the path rigorously, religiously. That's it from my side.